Today I'm fishing a bank shot sink tip line. It's a very heavily weighted line. Right now we're fishing shallow water and there's a lot of logs here. And I may have to lift my rod up to get over some of these logs, and it's not a very good striking angle, but I don't have any choice. I've got to slide it over some of these logs, so I'm going to take my chances. But this river is very heavy. There's a lot of heavy current that we have to fish, and we need to get the fly down and keep it down in the deeper water so that I can retrieve this streamer at the fish's level all the way back to me. So, you know, the bank shot or a heavily weighted sink tip line in a situation like this is what you want. The beauty of this bank shot sink tip is that I can fish almost as deep as I want. So in slower water like this, I can cast it and bend it a little bit upstream, let it get down a little bit deeper. And it will get pretty deep because it's got a very heavy front end. If I was using a poly leader in this situation, I would not be able to get as deep and not be able to keep my fly running deep like I can with this bank shot. So this is also a smoother transition in that there's no loop-to-loop connection. It's all one continuous piece of line. So it shoots better, it casts better. And one of the things that you need to learn with a heavy sink tip like this, it's very heavily front weighted, is to open your loop more. You don't want to try to throw a really tight loop with this bank shot line, or in sinking lines and sink tip lines in general. You don't want to cast them the exact same way you cast a floating line. Today we're on the Baker River at Patagonia Baker Lodge at Magic Waters, and fish are not that deep in here. They slide into these shallow gravel bars. So I want to get my fly down. I'm going to swing a couple of wet flies because it's windy, tough to fish dry flies, tough to fish nymphs, but I can swing a wet fly in the current when it's really windy and not have to worry about the wind bothering me at all. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want to put on a sinking line. I don't want to put on a full sinking or a sink tip line because I don't want to get that deep. So what I'm going to do is take my dry dropper, my standard tapered leader off here, put on a poly leader or a sonar leader, which will just keep my flies riding, swinging just below the surface. You know, probably about that deep or so. I don't want to get way down in the bottom. I'm going to put that sonar leader on instead of a full sink tip line. Finally! Woo, whoa! Hot fish. I have been swinging wet flies for a while, and we haven't seen many fish. But we found a bunch of fish that came up on top of this gravel bar, and I kept swinging them. It's swinging like for Atlantic salmon, you know, just swinging a wet fly, which is something I love doing, but I'm often not that good at it. And finally was able to get a fish to eat the swung wet fly on that poly leader, on that sinking leader. Ready, Nico? Okay, there we go. Finally. Yeah, nice fish.
Thank you.